Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we're going to take a look at the new Burberry Kisses lipstick. These lipsticks have a satin finish, and I ordered 3 shades to try out for you guys today. I got my fingerprints all over the cases, but this is what they look like. And the first shade I have here is 101 Bright Plum. I think this will go well with the eye look and matches the dress. This is kind of like an evening shade for me. Then we have number 26, First Blush, which is like a pinky, bright pink, slightly coral shade here. I think it goes, or it's gonna go really well with the eye look too. What I have on my eyes today is also from the new Chanel Le Beige summer collection. This is the Tender eyeshadow palette. And some of you guys have asked me if I was going to create a video demoing just Tender. Yes, I will, and I'll have it up early next week. But I just want to show you guys what it looks like on the lids before I post the video. I find that well, first of all, it's pretty effortless to put the look together. The shadows were just as easy to work with as the Intense palette. And what you get is, because the shades do have this like slightly sparkly finish, you do get that natural radiance or subtle radiance or natural glow, if you will. So I find it really pretty, and after using Tender today, I still can't decide which one I like more. I think I like them both equally. You get very different tones, obviously, from the palettes. So if you guys have been on the fence whether you want to get both or just one of them, I'm sorry to say I don't think your decision will be any easier. If you do get both, you're going to get very different looks, and both are equally as beautiful. I'll have more in the dedicated video to Tender, but if you want to check out swatches and a demo of the Intense palette, I will link the video above for you guys to take a look. Moving back on to the Burberry lipsticks, these lipsticks, the product description from Burberry's website reads as, Burberry Kisses is designed to make a lasting impact. With a new satin finish and long-lasting formula, Burberry Kisses lip color has an intense pigment that creates medium to high coverage and stays in place all day long. The hyaluronic acid enriched formula helps keep lips hydrated and comfortable for up to 24 hours. So this is a long-lasting, nourishing lipstick with a satin finish. Each of the 31 shades is imbued with a fresh rose scent for a total sensory experience. These lipsticks are made in Italy with a shelf life of 24 months. And the shades that I got, the one actually that I didn't talk about yet because I want to save the most anticipated shade for me for last, is number 188, Signature Gold. This caught my attention immediately from the photos on Burberry's Instagram. And I believe it was 2 photos that showed the entire shade range, like all 31 shades. And it was the second photo on the Instagram post, and just like the top row in the corner, you see, like, because they're all kind of small, I see that gold color. I'm like, I don't have anything like that in my collection. Nothing that would or should come close. I gotta try this shade. So there we have it. Those are the 3 shades. I'm gonna now head on to hand swatches and then to lip swatches. So let's start first with First Blush. This is First Blush. Really nice, kind of like a baby pink. And as I swatched it, it did feel very creamy as I was like moving the bullet across. And the long stain power it talked about in the description, I think I can feel it. It doesn't move around like some other creamy satin lipsticks that I have. So that's interesting. The texture is a little bit different, although it is still creamy. And then we have Bright Plum. You definitely see the brightness now that it's on the back of my hand. And finally, Signature Gold. Signature Gold does appear a little bit coppery and is more sheer in color payoff than the other 2. These 2 are very opaque. and this definitely has a sheer quality to it. And that makes sense because it's not exactly, I would imagine, like everyday or easy to wear, like a gold shade of some sort or a coppery shade out and about. So I think if it's more sheer, people can use it as a topper perhaps, or just wear it by itself and it would still, you know, come across as like, okay, like this is still a possible daytime look, but we'll see. And the first shade I will lip swatch is going to be First Blush. So this is First Blush. I think it does go nicely with this look and also the dress. I really like this shade a lot. I think it's perfect for summer, that brightness. The rose scent of these lipsticks is actually like a little bit sweet. So it's not only floral, it's like a sweet floral scent. I prefer my lipsticks and nearly, actually all my makeup to be unscented, but I still really enjoy scents, and every now and then when I come across a scent I like, I'm like, I'd be happy to have this in a candle or in a bottle of perfume rather than a lipstick, but it still smells really nice, and I think the scent is one of those. I'm enjoying it. Then we have Bright Plum. Wow, I love this shade too. I think it goes well with the eye look. I mean, with the dress, like, great. This would be an evening dinner outing kind of ensemble. Now, I could have a lighter eye look or something deeper, smokier, and I think it wouldn't take away from the lipstick. The lipstick would still be your front and center, you know, that statement lip, but it's very versatile too, and it just could go with lots of different types of eye looks. And then for our last shade, Signature Gold. I do think Signature Gold is very wearable because it is sheer. Your natural lip color is going to come through, and because I do have darker lips, you see, you know, the overall being darker, maybe a little bit, like I think the orange in the gold comes across a bit more, and with this light look that's kind of like pinky and mauvey, this lip color seems to do just as well with this look. I'm going to go in and apply a second application so we see how the layers might build on each other. So the shade is buildable, and you can see a lot more of the gold metallic reflective quality to the lipstick. I think I would still wear this out, like during the daytime. Maybe just one application if I was wearing it to work, but it's like maybe happy hour to dinner time, this would be okay. Just so we know what it looks like, I'm gonna go in and apply a third application. So I think the shade does come across pretty strong with a third application. It really now starts to resemble what you see on the bullet. So good to know you can really build on this. Like if you really, really like this shade here, you can get a similar payoff on your own lips. And I believe if you do have lighter lips, this even comes across more. But if you have deeper lips, this is what you might get. I really like it. I just don't have anything in my collection like this. Very pretty. I can think of a handful of eyeshadow palettes that I can create looks with that would go very, very well. Well, I really like all three shades that I purchased from this release. There are 31, and it was quite difficult to choose. Other than the Signature Gold, the other two shades were just trying to pick that one shade that I know I'll wear, but it's not something that it doesn't seem like something I have exactly the same of in my collection. It was also really hard to not get a nude shade, just try out the formula and see what their nude is. Yeah, it was difficult, but I thought the nude shades and anything with like a brown orangey undertone was extremely hard to avoid. I kept going back to it. So before we go here, a few more notes about the lipsticks. First is the case, the lipstick case. They are of a magnetic closure. However, when you use to apply your lipstick, you're done, you might put your bullet back this way. But you have to twist it so that it aligns, like the magnet aligns with each other, because the magnetic closure is actually not throughout the entire lipstick. I believe it is only one side, which is why it kind of slides around until you find the right position. The second thing is that because these are creamy and long lasting, they don't quite slide on your lips the same way maybe a less long lasting satin lipstick, or even like the Cocoa Blooms that are glossy hydrating lipsticks. They actually, while creamy, in comparison to this, they're actually more emollient. And so when you apply these on, depending on the shade, you'd probably have to be careful. So something like Bright Plum, going into it like this, because of this angle here, it skipped and I went out of line. And so depending on the shade, you might use a lip brush or go back in to make some corrections. I am not particularly skilled at putting on lipstick. I do take for granted sometimes of like the shape of my lips, and it's easy to get a nice swatch of color here, but whenever we get to the corners and angles, that's when I'm like and I usually have to go back and fix it. So that's just something to be aware of because of the formula. And it doesn't really bother me, but I know if you were expecting these to go on or glide on extremely smoothly, that might not be the case. And as for comparisons, here's what I have. These lipsticks in terms of texture and finish do remind me of Sisley's Le Photo Rouge. And I have Signature Gold on right now, which is like a metallic finish, but I can swatch this shade here against First Blush so you guys can get a sense. They're very similar. Obviously not the shade, but in terms of how they're satin and creamy, but they're long lasting and very pigmented. There's a bit more of a sheen actually from the Burberry lipsticks, and this has a flatter finish, not the same level of sheen. Although the Sisley lipsticks do glide on a bit easier, whereas Burberry, in comparison, there is like a little bit of resistance. And interesting to note is that the magnetic closure is throughout. So it doesn't matter which way you spin the bullet, it'll just get into place on its own. The other lipstick I wanted to bring out here is from Dior. This is their metallic finish lipstick in the shade Tutu, and it's not quite gold. We know the shade is different, but because of the metallic finish, I think it's also worth bringing out. I do think the two are quite sheer. This might be slightly more pigmented, and the metallic or the flecks you see in this lipstick is silver rather than gold. But they're comparable. I think it's like a similar idea. Finally, when it comes to the scent, it dissipates pretty quickly. I can still smell it if I'm deliberate about it, but when I was taking off the lip swatches, some of it did get in my mouth, and I don't like tasting lipstick. So that's my only thing. If you're not adverse to scent on your lipstick, I think it's a beautiful scent and it won't bother you. But if you're absolutely not about scent, I think this one might be a pass. So just so you guys know. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider giving this video a thumbs up. Ring the bell to get notified every time new content is released, and subscribe to the channel. I do review a lot of luxury makeup and occasionally luxury skincare. See you guys in the next one. Hope your weekend is going well. Bye.